As it's connected to YouTube, it'll say we're live, but you never know. Anyway, it's After Hours with Writer Sanctuary. Tonight I have with me Drea Talley. She's going to be one of the authors that are with me on October 20th at Read Between the Stars. You say hello.
Hello. Hello, lovely people.
And
And hello, Michael.
yeah, well, thank you very much. Hello to you. um, okay, so I guess we can just start diving into it. Your um, debut book came out in June.
Yes.
And it is Seer of the Strait. And I like the description of the book that you got here. Go ahead if you want to talk about it a little bit. Um,
Um, so Seer of the Strait is the story of Karis, who is a she's a seer, which means that she has the ability to connect to spirits in the world and through that see beyond her immediate perceptions. And one of the things that gets brought up a couple times throughout the book is the fact that seers don't actually see the future. What they do is they see the possibilities, and they can look at all the possibilities around them and figure out the most likely course based on those possibilities. Um, and she goes to a party because something tells her she needs to be there, and she got invited by one of her clients and meets um, the heir of the strait, and he's intrigued by her and wants her to read the cards for him, and she does. And when she does, she sees that a very large problem is coming from across the ocean. Something has been forgotten for centuries, and uh, they all may be in danger.
yeah, good. Yeah, the description is awesome. It piqued my interest. That's probably going to be why I'm going to wind up buying. If you're curious, the link to her book is in the description down below. And is this going to be part of a series, or do you just plan on doing a one-off?
No, it is part of a series.
Okay.
Uh, it's a little funny. Originally, it was just going to be a duology.
Mm.
It was going to be this book and the one that follows directly after. But then one day I was sitting in the cell phone lot waiting to pick someone up from the airport and ended up plotting out a 6 book series on the back of, like, I think it was lab results or something that were just sitting in my car
Mm.
because I had that and a pen. That's what I had.
Nice.
So,
Well, cool.
so yes, the series is called Seers of Dawn, and because the area that takes place in is the Cliffs of Dawn, and it will be 6 books. Two each will focus on a different main character.
Now, I know that on your website you said that you have a book planned for 2025, one for 2026. Is this part of that series or are they different?
Those are different, and honestly, I may be rearranging my publishing schedule slightly.
Well,
Uh,
yeah, we've all been there.
yeah. No, the other books that I have planned is one of them is The Broken Crown, which is the story of a young woman who has been she was a princess and something happened. It takes you don't get to know right away what happened, but something happened when she was like 12 and it got her exiled. And so she has been living in exile for 11 years, which is when um, we come to her again in the story. And we get there in time for her to um she's been living as the guest of this lord on a island that's somewhat reminiscent of England.
Mm. Most
And
are.
yeah, um you're not there very long though. And a ship shows up going, "Hey, your father's dead, you need to come home." And she's like, "What makes you think I want to?" And she is convinced to return, and shenanigans ensue as she tries to get back to her kingdom and claim the throne.
Ah,
Because of course not everybody wants her to. There's a faction that wants to put her bastard brother in the throne. There's so on and so forth. So
I would like to commend you for using the word shenanigans.
thank you.
um, And this is the one that is, if I read right, it has a steampunk theme to it.
It does. The way it it has a bit like it's a little magic tech leaning towards steampunk. Um, the thing behind it is that in this world, um, people can't use magic because it burns through them too quickly. It's too difficult on their bodies. And so they have developed engines that they funnel it through, and then they
Cool.
can use it to do different things. So the first glimpse of this that you get in the story is when she gets on the ship that's supposed to be taking her back to her home, which of course nothing bad will possibly go wrong here. Um, it runs with, it has an engine that propels it once it gets out of the harbor. It has cannons that are ion cannons, things like that.
Cool. Let's see. Jennifer Decker asks, it sounds like the character can see a variety of potential futures. This is for Sierra the Straight. Does that
Mhm.
sound right? Are they empathetic as well?
It's less about seeing potential futures and seeing how people intersect with each other. In the book, Karis talks about a lot about the threads of fate and the threads of life and how the weave interacts. The best example of this, that's easy and early on and not spoilery,
Mhm.
is in the very first chapter of the book. A girl comes to Karis for a reading, and because she's been chasing this guy, this merchant's son, but he spent hours in the company of another woman yesterday, and she has to know, do I still have a chance? And and Karis casts the cards, and she's like, okay, so this is where we're at. This is what he wants. This is what you want. And if you do these things that show him that you can give him what he wants, then you'll get him. Um,
So
and
just
yeah,
being able to see the laws of probability.
yes. Um, Yeah, so it's not that she sees a definitive future where they are engaged. It's just that it's all about likely outcomes.
And that,
Because the thing that Karis explains at one point is that you can't predict the future. We have free will. It's a fool's gamble.
mm,
You'll spend your life trying to predict it and then trying to make it happen and failing because something didn't line up.
yeah. Well, cool. Um, Jim McCleary says, let's go. Well, we're going. Um, okay, so your book is published by, is it Periapt Press? Am I saying that right?
Yes,
Is this your own press or is
it
it,
is.
because
Yeah, no,
I've
Periapt
seen,
Presses. Sorry, go ahead.
oh, I was just saying that, I've seen the emails from it. And so I assumed that it was, of your own. Does that mean that you're planning on publishing books from other people or is it just something that you're doing under your name?
No, I plan on publishing books for other people. So um, I have a Master's of Fine Arts. Who
Great.
doesn't?
I
In
don't.
It just feels like every time I talk to someone, they're like, "Oh yeah, me too." It's like,
Yeah.
okay. Um, I have a Master's of Fine Arts in creative writing and publishing. And during the getting of that MFA, there was a lot of learning about the publishing industry and going, "Oh God."
Mm, yeah.
And then in 2021, DOJ versus Penguin Random House happened, and I don't know how closely you followed that.
I
Um,
Yeah, that I didn't follow too close at all. So
I was still in school with all of these people at the time, so we're all like rabid about it.
yeah.
Um, like we're following. We had lists of people we were following on Twitter who were updating daily, and we're like, oh, what's happening now? And during that case, though, someone from Penguin Random House was forced to testify that out of all of the books they published last year, less than half of them sold more than a dozen copies.
Yeah. That's a good.
Yeah. Because they're not publishing houses these days aren't promoting a model of we want to find good writers and get their work out there. They're promoting a model of, well, we have to publish more books this year than we did last year because if the numbers don't go up, then we're not succeeding.
Mm,
But then when they publish those books, they really don't do anything else for them or with them.
yeah. Seems like a lot of them are putting a lot of the marketing on the author's shoulders when it should be the other way around.
Yes. And so during this whole process, I became very offended. And then add on to this the fact that I am a fantasy author and my experience of the publishing industry and agents, and I acknowledge right now this is not everyone. I am not speaking for all agents. I'm not speaking for all publishers, but my immediate experience of them is that they love fantasy authors if you're writing young adult,
Yeah.
and if
Seems
you are
like it.
not writing young adult, good luck.
Yeah. That I see a lot of actually.
Yeah.
Um,
And so then I got the idea of, well, what if I just made a tiny press? And what if I just made a tiny press and I've got to give it at least a couple of my books
mhm.
because it's my tiny press and I need to believe in it. And then what if we start like producing anthologies and eventually maybe we publish other people's little books on my tiny press.
Mm.
So
So with your tiny press, do you how do you do your prints? Do you still go through like Amazon, Barnes and Noble, or do you have a
I would
premium
still go through
printer?
Ingram Spark.
Ingo Spark.
Yeah.
I haven't used them yet. What's the pricing between them and Amazon? Is it comparable or?
It's comparable. It's fairly comparable across the board. The important thing with Ingram Spark is that if you want places other than Amazon to carry your book, it can't say it comes from Amazon.
Yeah,
Oh, excuse me.
yeah, no problem.
But like if you want a little bookshop somewhere to pick up your book, they're not going to do that if it was printed by Amazon.
No. Well, the also if you get Amazon's ISBN, it is outside of author copies. It is proprietary to Amazon, so you can use the same ISBN to like
Yes.
Barnes and Noble and stuff. So, do you buy
Right.
the ISBNs for your novels for Ingham Spark or?
Yes. No, I don't buy them from Ingram Spark. Like Ingram Spark does what Amazon does, where they
Yeah,
offer proprietary ISBNs. No, I buy them from Bawker.
yep. That's I was looking at the prices of them. I'm like, oh, this is going to cost me a lot.
Yeah, like it's frustrating because the more you can buy at once,
They're
um,
cheaper.
they do get cheaper. Like I can't afford to buy 1,000,
Yeah, right.
which is where the price point's really like, oh, this is nothing.
Oh
Sure.
yeah, they get
Um,
like dirt cheap at that point. But I'm like,
yeah.
I'm sure I could fill up 1,000,
Oh
but
yeah, eventually. But
that's an awful lot.
yeah, it is.
So
Yeah. But no, we're not quite there yet, but with luck.
yeah,
But no, I do. Uh, the goal of Periapt Press is to be a resource for other fantasy authors who are frustrated with um, the publishing process, but at the same time, maybe don't want to take on everything that comes with fully self-publishing.
yeah. Seems to be a very common thread, like on threads. No pun intended.
Mhm.
But I see a lot of, especially the newer authors, who are getting frustrated with querying agents and publishers and how you have to have a certain number of social followers before anybody takes you
Mhm.
seriously. I'm like,
Yeah,
that's not my job, that's yours. So
yeah.
I don't write for an audience of one. That's why I prefer to self-publish.
Hmm.
And but yeah, I see it a lot that are people are getting fed up with the big five. So
No, absolutely. And well, they're not even five anymore; they're four.
yeah, right.
The only reason they're four is because Penguin Random House wasn't allowed to buy Simon and Schuster. But just sharing. I
Yeah.
queried Seer of the Strait for 2 years
Mhm.
and got told the same thing almost every time, which was, "Oh, this is brilliant. This is beautiful. You did a great job. We love this book. I just don't know if I can do anything with it right now, but keep trying." And I'm
Yeah.
like, "That's not. that's not actionable.
Mm,
Like, I have numerous emails from different agents and different small publishing houses going, "Well, no, no, we love it. No, I don't. I have no notes for you. Just not right now." I'm like,
yeah.
"Well, I'm
Well,
not. I'm not going to do this for the rest of my life."
yeah. Well, their biggest focus is, can I sell this to make money right now?
Right.
And so that's why I say that I don't write for an audience of one. I will never query a book, because I'm not trying to make an agent happy. I want to
Hmm.
make a reader happy. There's a big difference. And so I'll probably write whatever the hell I want. So, but yeah, it's right now a lot of them get turned down because it's either not trending or they don't think they can make money at it. And so
Hmm.
that's why everybody's I came across a few that were like, if you're not traditionally published, you're not really an author. And I fight those people all the time.
Hmm.
Um, and it just it's insane. It's like I picked the wrong
Yeah.
career path.
No, there. I mean, there. Every industry has a level of elitism that you're not going to get around.
Yeah.
Um, and I will admit that I do intend to eventually query one or two books, um, largely for the implied legitimacy that comes with that.
Mm.
Um, because I think in the long run it'll help my tiny publishing house.
Okay, good. So okay, this stood at me on your bio on Amazon, and I gotta ask. It's also on your website. Um, Drea Talley is a struggling writer, but you have it trademarked. What's with the trademark?
I thought it was funny.
Oh, I thought it was like what?
That no, that's all it is. That's
Oh,
all it
okay.
is. I thought it was funny.
All right. I thought there was like
And I
story
no,
behind
it's
it.
not
So,
actually. Yeah, it's not actually trademarked.
oh,
No, I just thought it was funny and I threw it at a couple other people too, and they were like, "That's hilarious." So I'm like, I'm just gonna run with it.
yeah. Well, it jumped on my radar. So, um, okay. So almost every author faces imposter syndrome of some kind. Um,
Oh yeah.
and on yours it says that your unending quest against the evils of imposter syndrome and writer's block. What kind of things have you done to get past that? Because I know that there's a couple people that watch the show who are getting ready to get their masters in creative writing and interested in, and one of them is interested in doing events like the one we're going to do on Read Between the Stars.
Mhm.
You have to set some of that imposter syndrome aside to do the public stuff.
Yes.
What kind of things have you done to prepare yourself for that kind of stuff?
Well, um, okay. So, uh,
I haven't. No.
the no, it's um, it's not a very. I don't know that it's going to be a satisfying answer depending on who
If it
it's directed
well,
to. Um,
if it works for you, that's all that matters.
I have been a theater kid
Mm,
since I was like in elementary school. I've done theater, I've done speech and debate, I did dance. Um, Prior to graduating high school, I was convinced that I was going to go to New York and get myself on Broadway. And then life happened and that didn't come to be. Uh, but I have years of performance that I can fall back on.
yeah. Well,
And so even if I'm not feeling it, I'm
this kind of
especially for public events.
so kind of set yourself into a different character, so per
Yeah.
se. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that works. Actually, I know somebody in my close circle actually who could probably use that
Mhm.
kind of advice. Um, so when it's with the imposter syndrome part, is it more geared towards your writing then?
Um, yes, and oh, um, I find myself I teeter in between. Uh, no, this is going to be fine. I know I'm good. I it's that there are
Mm,
so many factors that come into whether or not you succeed as an author. I just need to keep trying because I know I'm a good writer,
yeah.
and that. And then I have to balance that with I'm a hack and I'm awful. And what the heck do I think I'm doing? Why do I think I'm going to succeed? I'm not pretty enough for promotional pictures. I'm not, fill in the blank.
Yeah.
Um, I'm too old.
Yep.
That's,
That was mine.
yeah.
I go through the old thing quite a bit. I'm gonna be pushing 50 soon, so I started kinda
Mm.
late.
I turned 45 this year.
Oh, I thought you were much younger than that.
It's the pink hair helps.
Yeah, well, there probably.
I was gonna
Yeah.
say, and so does being fat.
Well, I was just thinking, because the one picture that you have on, Amazon, you look you I thought you were, like, early 30s, so,
Trying to remember what picture that is. I mean, there's a chance that it's what color is my hair in that picture?
blonde.
Uh,
You have to gauge it by what color you have.
hang on. A little bit. Like
Mm,
I mean, that's not guaranteed.
uh,
I'm very much in my pink era right now. I call it my Barbie era. I'm in my Barbie
oh,
era
yeah.
right now, which is
Well,
kind of funny because I'm an elder goth. Um, so it's a
well,
little weird, but
my girls have gone through the entire spectrum of the rainbow, so
yeah,
the blue one was the best. Pepsi
yeah.
can blue.
Oh, that picture. Oh, no, that's recent. That was like last year.
Yep, yep. Oh, well, I was wrong. You definitely
Yeah.
don't look 45. Well, at least me.
Excellent.
Okay, let's see. Let me get caught up here. KDC says, "I really wish I had the opportunity to take theater in high school. I didn't. My son did, but I would assume that, like what you pointed out, falling back on theater and imagining yourself as a different character for the public appearances, I think is brilliant. So,
Yeah. No, I loved theater. I lived for the stage when I was younger. If
yeah,
if you had asked young me what I wanted to be when I grow up, I would have told you famous.
yeah. All right. One word:
Yeah.
fortune and glory, kid. Fortune and glory.
Yeah.
Let's see. Neil says, I'm caught up. Hi, everyone. Okay, she's here. Yeah, let's see. Jennifer Decker says, the pink hair is awesome. It's pretty bright.
Thank you.
Seer of the Stars is available on 10 platforms. Yes, it is. I'm sorry. It's not just on Amazon. She also has it on, uh, do you have it on Kobo, right?
Yeah.
Rakuten? I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Um,
so, which one was the easiest and hardest to work with?
which platform?
Yeah,
Okay.
for me, it was Barnes and
Um,
Noble.
so, uh, it's
Do you do them all through
not
Ingram
on those
Spark?
platforms individually.
Uh,
Um, Ingram Spark distributes print to a number of platforms, which includes Kobo and Barnes and Noble and Apple. Um, and then digitally, I mostly use Draft to Digital.
oh,
Um, and thankfully, they've announced that they're not going to go forward with some
yeah,
of their
the
AI
AI
plans.
stuff.
So,
Yeah, I
so
got
I will
that too.
continue to use Draft to Digital to reward them for making the right decision.
Yep, a lot of people are doing that. So,
Yeah, but the upside of Draft to Digital is that they will distribute to so many digital platforms.
oh
And
yeah,
that what made me excited about them was that they distribute to libraries
yeah,
and a lot of online library programs because I love libraries and they need to be protected and preserved, and we need them. I feel very strongly about that.
yep. I'm a big fan of library. Supported.
Yay.
Um, let's see. Could you explain the octopus wall art? Yeah,
There.
probably.
Yeah, I think so. That's not an octopus. Um, I mean, I do have octopus. I got thrown for a second because I do have octopus wall art, but it's not in this room.
Oh,
Um, so that is actually a piece by Tasty Girl Art, and it's um, I want to say is it alcohol inks or Indian inks? I think it's alcohol inks. Um, and it's a woman licking something in her hair coming forward.
Oh, my daughter loves alcohol. Inks.
Yeah.
Just dawned on me that what I just said. So
No.
let's see. Jennifer Duck says the octopus is bomb. So is that the octopus that's on? I don't know if they're talking about that painting or there. It looks like you have something on the left side of you on the bottom, about shoulder length there. It looks like a
Oh,
star type thing sticking. It's
oh,
orange.
there's so much stuff behind
Other
me.
side.
Other side.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's orange. There you go. Oh, yeah. That's what I was looking at. Okay. Oh, it's a
this is
star.
nice.
All
This is
right.
my scepter.
Oh,
Um,
I was way off.
yep. I got this for my birthday
Cool. Let's see.
because I'm a
Niels.
fussy queen of all things. No.
Yeah, there you go. And a chaotic good bard that can't
Yes.
play an instrument.
Yep. I can't play an instrument, and because I wasn't any good at the flute, and I didn't stick with the piano, and the guitar hurt my fingers.
So were these real instruments that you tried playing, or were that
Oh
part of
yeah.
your story? Yeah.
Nope. I played the piano when I was very young. I played the flute and marching band in high school, and I've tried twice to learn the guitar,
Mhm.
and
Oh,
no, just couldn't stick with it.
my daughter plays a kalimba. You ever thought about that one? It's just thumbs.
No. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's like a. I can't describe it. It's metallic and it's like you flick them to make the
No,
noises.
know what you're
Sh-
talking about. I know what that is.
She's
Yep.
great at it. So, I love the artwork from Bite the Paintbrush for your characters in Seer the Strait. You mentioned playing Dreamlight Valley. Have you used that game to make your characters as avatars?
No, I have not. Dreamlight Valley is cute and I like it. I did get I'll admit I got a little tired of it. I played for a while and then went and spent more time on Baldur's Gate 3.
Ah, see, that's when I have to get. I loved the original Baldur's Gate. My son wants me to get Baldur's Gate 3 something fierce, and I'm like, it's on my watch list. All right, I'm gonna get it.
Oh my god, it's so much fun. I mean, you are going to like the world's going to lose me in the end of October because Dragon Age: The Veilguard comes out,
Oh yeah,
and I've been a Dragon Age fan for a very long time.
yeah.
Um, and so I'm just going to disappear and be a fangirl for a while.
Hey, sometimes you
But
gotta. Lately, I've got sucked into Elden Ring. Um,
I all of the all of the Soulsborne games frustrate me because I love the weird, elaborate
mhm.
storylines behind them, but I hate the gameplay. I can't do it.
See, I love grinding, so I'm all about the grind. Give it to me.
Yeah, I get my grinding in on Destiny too, and I'm really only still playing that because they finished the big story arc that they've been doing forever in the
Cool.
latest expansion. And so our fire team came together and had a talk and went, okay, we're going to pay for one more pass. We're
Nice.
going to play this for this last year and then we're done. We're all agreeing that we're done. Yes, after this we're done. Okay, good.
Cool. Let's see. Neil asks, "Is Corwin part of the swords in the barrel?" I'm not sure what she means by that.
It's
Is Corwin part of the swords in the barrel?
the swords in the okay, so we have swords in a barrel upstairs. You can see it on my Instagram. Corwin is my son,
Maybe she.
so I'm not
Oh, on Instagram. She says on Instagram.
okay. I mean,
I'm not
I'm
sure
not
what you're
sure what you mean
asking.
by yeah, I'm not sure what you mean.
Cram him into one, or
He won't fit. He's very big.
um. Let's see. Jaya, do you plan on doing the writing challenge in November with other fellow writers? That's gonna be a hard one. Are you talking about NaNoWriMo? Because that
No,
kind
we
of
don't do Nano
exploded.
anymore. We
So,
don't do Nano anymore. I've been talking with a lot of different groups about just being supportive of an independent
mm,
of giving ourselves a writing challenge and just supporting each other. And I told people I would make little badges for them,
Yeah.
little digital badges to send them for their different
Yeah, if I had more time
whatevers.
if I had more time, I'd create my own and do one, but I don't have the time to do all that. But, yeah,
Yeah.
it was I was kind of really bummed out is when um, essay stuff or not essay, but the first issue with when Nano came out, and I'm like, I'm on the fence because I don't deal with anecdotal evidence. You got to give me, if you give me something, I will run with it.
Hmm.
But then they came out with the AI stuff, and I am very anti-generative AI. And so
Yes.
when um, that all happened, I'm like, "Yeah, man, I tried to support you guys, and then you had to go and do that.
Yeah.
So
No, and when they had when the first issue came up, I tried very hard to give them the benefit of the doubt. And I'm like, maybe you just grew too big too fast. You didn't have things in place for this. Let's see how you handle it. They didn't handle it great. And then
yeah,
they followed it up with the generative
yeah,
AI thing.
and then called everybody
So
ableist.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, no,
well, that was
that
stupid.
was wild. No, it was.
You don't
Um,
shoot your audience in the foot, man.
no, no, and it's there's a YouTuber, D'Angelo, um, who did a really good breakdown of the most likely reasons why they did that, and it basically just comes down to sponsors and money and how
Yeah.
much money they get from like pro writing aid and things like that.
Well,
Um,
I was doing a blog post. I did some research on it, and I decided not to post it. I was gonna make a video, but by the time I had enough time to set together, like it's already over. So like, oh, that'd be
mhm,
kind of pointless now. But
yep.
from their perspective, I can kind of see why they would actually bring that up because I know a lot of people who want to be writers who don't have the ability. But I am also on the mindset of if you don't know how to do something, you learn. You don't feed it through a bot. You didn't write
Sure.
the book,
Yeah.
the bot did. And
Yeah.
so
No, absolutely. And like, and I know, there are a lot of people with disabilities
mhm,
um that came forward after Nano's announcement and were like, look, I'm disabled and I have these issues and I still write.
yeah,
And it doesn't stop me because it's something I really wanted to do. And I found ways to do it because it was important to me.
yeah.
Um, and they really disliked the ableist argument from that perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Um,
Like, you had me
and
up until you
like,
started calling people classist. It's like
but the other thing that I'll say is that, you know, um, someone mentioned Bite the Paintbrushes portraits. And so the artist behind Bite the Paintbrush is Robin McFadden. And she's been my friend since high school. And she came from a very poor family, but that didn't stop her from taking a piece of paper and sketching with her pencil.
yeah,
No, she couldn't get fancy art school. No, she couldn't whatever. But, she could get paper and a pencil.
yeah.
And um, and you see a lot of people with making arguments against or trying to support generative AI in traditional art, in illustration and things like that, and saying things like, "Well, just because I didn't go to art school," and I'm like, most of the artists I know didn't go to art school.
I don't have any
Like,
background in writing.
yeah, and and I've talked to people about like the whole, well, I'm trying to be a writer, but I don't have an MFA. And I'm like, baby, I didn't get an MFA to become a better writer. I got an MFA because writing is the only thing I know how to do. So I was hoping a degree might make me more
Yeah,
marketable.
yeah. Bragging rights. That's all I want a
Like,
master's for. Yeah, I know most of the successful authors I know personally, none of them have a degree.
mhm.
I think one has an associate's in something completely different. So,
Yeah, because the degree has nothing to do with someone who is willing to take the time and sit down at their computer with a notebook or whatever every night
yeah,
and put down what they want to put down.
yeah.
Um,
I learned
and
how to
it's not,
be yeah, I learned
yeah.
how to be a successful freelance writer by spending hours upon hours in Google.
Mhm.
I learned everything I could about AP style English and SEO, and I turned it into one hell of a career over the last decade. And so I'm a believer that you don't necessarily need a college degree to be anything if you're willing to teach yourself. But um, some courses and some master's degrees and stuff like that, the syllabus
Mhm.
will help you get to that point a lot faster because you'll learn a lot of stuff that I didn't know when I first started writing that I would have never have asked because I didn't know I had to ask for it. So some of those
Mhm.
courses are beneficial to get you to a certain point quicker, but not
Yeah.
necessarily you don't need a degree to become a successful author.
You
So
do not, and I don't wanna, I feel a little bad betraying my school this way, but, um, the most the things that I found the most valuable from my experience in grad school, the bits of information that I found the most valuable, you can all find online.
yeah.
Maybe
Um,
someone may not be organizing it into a class for you, but
that's one of the biggest difference is that they take all the information that's available already and put it
yeah,
together in a meaty thing to we can get it all at once.
yeah. But it also has to be vetted to be academically,
Accredited, yeah.
accredited, so a lot of it's old.
Yeah.
Like one of the things that I had to take during grad school was a course on social media marketing. I hated that class. um, but it was all based on, like, it didn't even address um, TikTok, which is the biggest up and coming platform because it didn't exist when they made the textbook.
Yeah, that's true.
And while a lot of the things in the textbook were very accurate, and actually the textbook was a fascinating read because it went into the psychology of marketing so much, it's a little uncomfortable actually when you
Oh
think
yeah.
about
I've
how businesses get us to buy the things we buy.
yeah.
Like, reading that book was eye-opening in unpleasant ways.
Yeah. I've had to do a bit of research for the companies I've worked for as a freelancer. So yeah,
Yeah.
there's some scary psychological tactics that go into marketing nowadays.
Mhm.
Okay, we're way behind. Let's
And
see.
okay, sorry.
Okay, Casey says I enjoy Elden Ring more than turn-based games like Baldur's Gate. I don't know. I like Elden Ring because I love the grind, but when it comes to Baldur's Gate, that was something else for me. I still quote first the original. Like my favorite is the emo wizard. I love that
Oh
guy.
yeah.
Better part of valor. I say that all the time. But I don't
I'm
know.
trying to get I'm trying to get my husband to do a Minsk,
Right?
cosplay.
That'd be
I
cool.
just don't think I don't think I'm gonna be able to convince him to shave off his beard.
You point, I punch. I
Yes.
liked him too. Neo says the visits you took to the John and Mabel Ringling Museum of Art and Sister Mune, sister, I said that wrong, have any influence on scenery of your novels?
Um, no, because that was far more recent. Although I have no doubt that Kadazan, which is the um, uh, so Kadazan was John and Mabel Ringling's mansion, which you can get tours of. It's next to the Ringling Museum of Art. Um, and I have no doubt that Kadazan will influence a future story.
God, I was wondering. Like you brought that up, and all I could think is I recently went to Meow Wolf. Like, I wonder if that would influence a book.
Maybe.
I love Meow Wolf, so
No, it's neat. How many have you been to?
I've just been to the one here in Denver, but I
Okay,
hear the
cool.
one in New Mexico is awesome. Is it New
Yeah,
Mexico?
the one in New Mexico is the first one,
Okay.
and you can tell because there's an intimacy and a closeness there that doesn't exist in the versions that were built for larger audiences.
Yeah.
So it's definitely worth seeing. And then the one in Vegas is also very neat. I haven't been to the one in Texas yet.
Uh, yep. The only one I've been to is the one here, and we spent like 6 hours in it, and I didn't get to all the rooms, so I have to go back.
Yeah, yeah,
It was pretty cool. So I got pictures of it.
that's
Um,
neat.
Let's see. Do you plan to add more content to Drea Talley WordPress.com? The rapier and the mallet caught my eye.
Oh, yeah, I will admit that I have backburnered my WordPress site for the moment just because so many other things were going on. Um, did they read The Rapier and the Mallet? Because um, it's a memoir piece.
Oh,
It's a short memoir piece.
cool.
Um,
I don't know. Did you read it, Neil? Casey says, degree, what's that? And then Jennifer says, I have one. I think they told me what it means, but I don't remember.
oh no, I get it. Yeah.
Michael, are you going to get Black Myth Wukong? The game's on pace with to be game of the year. It's outsold Elden Ring and every other single player game on Steam. Um, maybe.
Nope.
I don't know. Right now, I barely have time to play the ones I got. So, but you're a flat nope on that? It looks
Nah.
good. No?
Yeah. I
No?
mean,
No?
maybe my husband will get it, and I'll sit on the couch behind me, and
No, watch.
'cause his desk is right over there.
Ah.
So
Let's see. Neil says creative nonfiction, as you called it. Um,
yes.
oh, okay. She was talking about the rapier and the mallet.
Hmm.
Okay, go. Awesome. She didn't answer if she read it. So,
Good. Well, just because it's complete in and of itself. There's nothing else to
okay,
be
so
added to it.
this is a little off topic. Casey, I bought a staff and almost chopped my TV in half.
Oh, jeez.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
Yeah, TVs don't like to be hit with sticks, man.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes,
Practice
Neil
outside.
Neil says she read it,
Okay. Thank you.
and that is more. What was that again? You s-
So it's creative nonfiction.
in okay, creative
Um,
nonfiction.
yeah, and it's a memoir piece. It's a reflection of um, basically how I have seen myself as a sexual being over the years, and
There you go, people.
the type. Well, because everybody has that progression, like um, and the title comes from the fact that I have never learned to flirt with people lightly, like someone wielding a rapier. I am like someone with a
A
mallet.
mallet. Ah, that's kind of cool. And that is at dreatelli.wordpress.com if anybody's interested. And that's still up, right? That website?
Hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
so there you go. We're getting all kinds of links I didn't know existed. Neo digs deep. So,
nice.
um, yeah, I'm not. Yeah, KDC. We all know that. Anyway, well, I got like sidetracked to Helion. Oh, okay, one thing I wanted to bring
Okay.
up. So everybody has their own way of dealing with writer's block. I
Hmm.
I don't ever get writer's block, so I don't know. I try to help.
Well, aren't you a fancy boy?
Well, the thing is that I'm a plotter, and so I have an idea of exactly where my story is going. And when I start
Oh, I'm
writing,
not.
when I start writing, everything is just it clicks and it's just
Hmm.
boom. So I never have it slow down. But I know a lot of people that do, and everybody has their own way of dealing with it. Um, Now with me, there's things where it'll slow me down. I'll have to reprocess how I'm thinking. But I think it's the way how I prep everything is why I don't have writer's block is because I think of
Hmm.
everything cinematically. I walk outside and I think listen to this music while I'm thinking of scenes, and then it's just everything flows. Um, what is the best practice you do to combat the writer's block for you? Are you a planner, a plotter, or a pantser?
I'm a plantser.
There you go.
Because I'm not a plotter, but uh, um, if you have a creative writing degree, that means you've had to turn in outlines, whether you wanted to or not.
Yeah. Okay,
Um,
yeah.
and I found an outline structure that I really enjoyed. It's actually meant to be used to write screenplays.
Mhm.
But the thing that I liked about it is that you start with the beats and then you go in because like I went to school with people who had a full outline not only for the book but for each individual chapter. And I'm just like, "Oh, when do you have the time? When does the writing get done?" Um
I do that.
But um, but so I really enjoyed the structure so that I could come up with the main beats of the story, because I need to tether myself in, because when I start writing and I'm excited, I'll just keep going, and sometimes end up telling you things about, where the dresses came from for like 3 pages, and then go, you don't need to know that.
Little deep.
Um, but So I really like using that as a frame to keep track of myself and pull myself back in. Um, and but when I get writer's block, it's not because I don't know where we're going. It's because I don't always know how we're getting there.
Mm.
And so I will hit points in the story where I'm like, and then they have breakfast, and I've got 3 days I got to kill in some creative way to make this happen. And so the thing that I have started doing, and I started doing this back when I did Nano,
Mhm.
is that I just skip to the next scene where I know it will happen.
Yeah. So
I
you
put a little asterisk or something in there that I can search for later, and I skip to the next part where it's like, okay, well, I have no idea what happens here, but I know in like 2 weeks she has dinner at this place and so shows up and there's going to be tension, and I'm dying to write this tension. So we're just going to skip to this scene.
so you write out of order as well.
Yes.
Okay, so
Like
I do.
I write in order as much as humanly possible until my brain's just like, I don't want to. And then we move ahead.
Write out of order quite often, and I had one person ask, like, they can't believe that I can do that. Like, actually, it's fairly common. Um, with Kingmaker, I wrote the ending of it before I even started chapter one. Now, I did
Hmm.
have to change the ending a little bit because of what happens throughout the story that I didn't foresee before. So it
Hmm.
did get a little bit changed, but the premise of that scene was there. So,
Yeah.
and then
No,
like,
and I understand that.
while I'm writing and I'm following the outline and I get kind of stuck on a spot and I don't want to spend too much time mulling over it, I'll actually write a different section of it and then connect the dots later. So
Hmm.
I bounce around a lot. So
Hmm.
it's I guess I don't necessarily leave myself an asterisk. It's more of I use brackets, but yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're like, okay, I'm gonna finish this awesome scene that I had in my head for like the last week and a half, then
Hmm.
come back and try to connect it all.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
No, and
I feel that.
on my phone, on the notes app on my phone, I have random snippets of scenes that came to me while I was driving or something, where
Yeah,
I'm like, "Oh, this would be a great exchange. I've got to
yeah,
remember this."
I do that a
And
lot.
yeah.
Like, I'll be in the shower and I'll be acting out a dialogue for what I'm about to write. I'm like, gotta come up with some great dialogue in the shower.
Yeah, it's always the car for me. The car is where I get all of those moments, because I've had a lot of writers say, "Oh yeah, no, the shower." I'm like, "No, the shower is just where I disassociate for half an hour and let the hot water hit me." Um,
It's always in
but
a
no, it's always
place. Yeah, it's always in a place where you
yeah,
can't write anything.
right.
I'm on the freeway.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we all have a flow.
Yes.
Let's see. There's something else. Oh, okay. So this will be your first. Read Between the Stars will be your first event. I think
Yes.
there's going to be 6 or 7 of us. This is our first time. So, because I know it's me, Maddie,
Mhm.
you. So there's 3 right off the bat. I can't remember who else was said that they've never
Yeah,
done
I
one
can't
before.
remember who said it was the first time, because I know Thomas has done a bunch.
Oh yeah, Thomas and
Uh,
Ian. Ian was on the show. I think last week before last, because last week I had or last the last one I had was Maddie, and then Ian
mhm.
was before that. So Ian's done a ton. He
Yes.
does like 12 a year.
Yeah. No, uh, Read Between the Stars will be my first one. But it'll be the first of many. Uh, I'm also doing Mile High Con at the end of October. Um, and I'm looking forward to that.
Is that
I'm
at
just
so
sorry, go ahead.
is that at Mile High Comics?
No.
Or is that what just what they call it? Because that'd be cool. I would love to do one at Mile High.
No, it's a full fan convention at,
Oh,
it's at the Marriott in the DTC.
oh, awesome.
So, but they have an author alley because they tend to be more, uh, writerly focused.
Mm,
Um, I'm sure they have an artist room too, but they're one of the few cons that I've come across that actually has an author alley, and I was able to get a table in their author alley, and I was very
oh,
excited about that.
nice. I wish I would have known about that one. I would have done that one too.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Is there anything else anybody has to ask? We have 10 minutes left. I'm going through here.
Tell me your dreams.
God, holy crap. Like KDC really wants to talk about games. Read a book, people.
Please read a book.
Don't forget that I do have the link to the Seer of the Straight. Mindway. We
Yes.
talked about a bunch of different titles here.
Yes.
So Sea of the Straight is available on Amazon. I have the link in the description down below. It's also available on several other platforms. I couldn't find the link. Do you have a link for Drafted Digital? Because you said you have it available across a bunch of different platforms. Is that
Um,
because I didn't
yes.
find one. But if you have one, I
I
would happily
have
share it.
a if you go to my Instagram, I have a link tree link off my Instagram right now because I'm pretty sure I do.
I don't
Um,
know where my Instagram went.
Now I have to look because now I'm like, I don't
Scenic
remember.
route. Because I would, yeah, I would happily throw your
Oh no, I have Drea Writes on my Instagram. Um, but no, I thought I wait.
maybe see on.
Well,
I had
all
your
right.
website, but where'd it go?
Well, if you go to Drea Writes, there's a link that says ebook that takes you to my books to read page, which is through Draft to Digital, which shows you everywhere that you can get it
Let
digitally.
me see if I can get there. If see if either me or Neil can get there first. Okay, so I'm on. Oh, I'm on dreatalley.crd.co.
Yeah, that's
It's
what
up
Drea
there.
Writes
Yeah.
routes to right now.
Okay, and the link to. Oh, it's a butterfly. Nope, that's blue sky. Where's the link to?
Okay, so there should be it says Sear the Straight
Okay,
because
we got
and then
more. Oh, more
Amazon ebook store. Click on ebook.
ebook. Oh, there we go. I am brilliant. I promise. Okay, so
What this is telling me is that I need to clean up my links apparently because it's
or
not straightforward enough.
or maybe I just had 5 hours of sleep. Okay, here we go. Here
It's
is
fair.
the link to her Draft to Digital. It's where it's available on several platforms, including Kobo, Mondadori. I've never heard of that one. Smashwords, Thalia, Indigo, Barnes and Noble. What ones I had? Everand, Vivleo, I'm on, and Palace Marketplace, Apple. So straight and boom, bam. There we go. And okay. Neil says Christoph and Bianca for or the first letter. Will those be published with your publishing company?
Um.
So with Perry,
So.
yeah.
Um. The first letter is a part of the adventures of Stark Raven Mad and Lunatique,
Mhm.
which is a ridiculous Victorian pulp story
Nice.
that it's an epistolary novel, and so it's released in letters. Uh, Hopefully, I will get back to it, and um, and yes, someday the rest of that story will be told. Um, I will probably query, so the Christoph and Bianca dialogue segment, um, the working title for that piece is Blood and Snow.
Mm.
Um, it's my vampire story because
Oh,
every gothy writer has a vampire story. We all
yeah.
do.
I'm a
So
big,
we all, yeah,
big fan of gothic horror, so
yeah,
my shit's just dark.
yeah. That's fair, but like, you know, um,
I always got to have a bloodsucker.
yeah, I was having with Bloodsucker, and in a romantic one, and so that's my take on a vampire story, and it's honestly, um, I get a little flowery right now. Um, not, I do not like speaking ill of other authors, but the story started as a fuck you to Twilight,
Right on.
and taking and just taking all of the points that made me crazy about that story and countering them. So, like, for example, the main character, Bianca, when we say Bianca is intelligent, we mean it. She's in grad school. She's very smart. She works as a TA. She didn't just Google vampires once. Like, you know, if you're going to tell me that your character is bookish, make them pick up a book.
Oh,
Um,
she's gonna go on a rant. She's gonna go. Well, she's gonna go on one of my rants. There you go. Go for it. Oh, we
but
love the rant.
Yeah, and so there were all these other story points, and that just sat did not sit well with me, and mostly having to do around the female main character. And and I understand that part of why Twilight was so appealing was because Bella was so bland, and people could very easily stick themselves in her spot. There was nothing about her that made you go, "Oh, I can't do that." It's like, no, you can do all of that. Um,
Nice.
but I don't think it makes for a fun character.
Yeah.
And so I got very angry about it and started writing this vampire story. It
Yeah.
will not be published through Periapt because it is not a fantasy story.
Uh,
If I finish it, I will probably query it to other small presses.
yeah. Cool. I think it's awesome. It's pretty brilliant. So,
Thank you.
you said you were going to change your publishing schedule, but was it important that you write lead female characters in your novels, Seer of the Straits, Broken Crown, and Hunter of the Stars?
Um, it is important. It's very important to me that I have female leads. It's, um, you know, I love the fact that that is a more common thing these days, but when I was growing up, when I was reading stories, it was less common.
Mm,
And it is important to me to tell stories involving female leads. Um, Actually, the thing that got me writing was I got a book when I was 13, and I got so mad at it because there was only one woman of any consequence in the entire book, and she's referred to as a whore.
yeah. Okay.
And I was so angry at this book that I started writing rage fan fiction.
There you
Essentially,
go.
I started rewriting the book,
Yeah.
and everything I didn't like about it, and I made the main character a girl. I was gonna make it better, and then, like, within 3 chapters, it went off the rails, and there's magic, and there's romance, and whatever, but, that's actually the thing that got me started writing. Spite made me
Hey, there you go.
decide I could be a writer.
Sometimes it works. Let's see. I'm so ready for an amazing vampire tale. So it sounds like you're gonna have to finish it.
I do want to. I really enjoy the story. I have a lot of it written. Um,
Hey,
there
you had me at saying that it was a fuck you to Twilight. So
No, I a lot of it's already written. Um, I just need a firmer, like, the first half of it is written and it's
yeah,
brilliant and I love it. and then I have the end, and I'm like, how do I get to the end?
Yeah.
We'll get there.
All right. And Diana asks, let's see, if she like ghost stories, what goth
I
doesn't?
do. I do. I don't read a lot of horror anymore these days. Um, but I have always had a soft spot for it.
See, my horror has to have a plot. I'm not a big hack and slash fan. I love this plot to Saw 2 when it came out. I think it was
Mm.
freaking brilliant. Um, I just never been a fan of hack and slash. I need a good story to go with it. Like, I love gory stuff, but come on, give me some.
Yeah,
I
no,
want to
my
know why
my
it's happening.
favorite my favorite horror films are ones with ghosts. They're ones that explore the concepts of ultimate good and evil, um, things like that. I've seen a lot of hacker films because my brother went through a big horror movie phase where we
Yeah,
saw all the classics. Um, I've seen every Nightmare on Elm Street,
yeah,
but uh, but it's not my thing.
mine either. Let's see. I was thinking more folk tales than horror.
Oh, I love folk tales. I love folk tales.
Yeah,
Um, so yes, absolutely. I love folk tales. I love mythology. Um,
grim.
all those types of things. Yep, absolutely. I have the complete Andrew Lang fairy books, the
Mm,
colored fairy books, the
yeah,
blueberry, the violet fairy. I have all of them.
nice. Katie, Katie C. Just don't be the blonde girl with high heels in horror movies, right?
Yeah,
You're dead.
I did really love Cabin in the Woods. I thought it was so
I
clever.
haven't seen it yet. I know it's been out for a while, but it's like on my list of shit that I want to watch. I just haven't had a chance to watch it yet. But I hear
Hmm.
everybody who knows me knows I would love this movie. So I'm like, all right,
It's
it's
very
on
clever.
my list. So
Yeah.
all righty. Well, it is 8:02. Does anybody have any more questions before we wrap this up? Don't forget that Drea Talley will be joining me. We join Mike take two. Joining me at Read Between the Stars on October 20th in Lakewood, Colorado, here in Denver, I guess, because it's off. Anyway. And that'll be, it's a Sunday, 12 to 4. I am actually going to be live streaming it while we're there.
Fun.
Yep, it's going to be a lot of fun. And half the people that have, almost exactly half the people that have been on my show the last couple of times are going to be there. Like, well, no, there's 10 of us. I've had 4. All right.
Okay, almost.
5, including me. So there's half.
There you go. Ooh, there you go. Half.
So who will
Well
be
done.
at Read Between the Stars? I was way better than this last week. Read Between the Stars on October 20th. I've had 5 hours of sleep. But thank
It's
you
okay.
very much, Dre, for being on.
Well, thank you so much for having me.
I'm probably gonna. Are you going to be doing Sierra the Straight at Read Between the Stars? Is that
Oh,
where you're going?
absolutely.
Okay. I
Yes.
I was debating on buying everybody's book on Amazon. And I'm like, you know what? I want to buy them all in person, so I'm going to buy everybody's book there. So
Awesome. So those boxes you can see over my shoulder are the book.
yeah, nice.
It's 111 copies of the book.
Oh, I have only got 60. I'm poor folk. So
It's okay.
But, yeah, it's gonna be a lot of fun, and if anybody's in the Denver metro area that weekend, feel free to stop by, it's a free event. Does Drea like Halloween as much as we do? I love Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been waiting.
Spooky season starts in October.
Yeah.
Um,
I well,
very hot.
I wanted to get my Halloween stuff out at the beginning of September, but I've had nothing but chaos for the past 3 weeks, so I haven't been able to get it
Oh,
out
I
yet, though.
understand.
But I do have my skeleton behind me who is going to be with me at Read Between the Stars because he's actually in the book.
Nice.
And on the book's cover. So,
Even better.
mm, and so yeah, uh, make sure you if you're not in the Denver metro, make sure you tune in to the channel on October 20th because it will be live streamed live. Obviously, that was redundant. I'm fading pretty fast, so I think we better wrap this up.
I can see that. You should like take a nap.
Yeah, no, I don't do naps. I wake up all cranky and ornery and discombobulated. Anywho, I've got Drea website is in the link in the description down below, as well as the Amazon link to her book. And then I just shared her drafted digital to all the digital copies. Thank you very much for being on the show, Drea. It was a lot of fun.
Thanks again for having me. It was a great
when
time.
your book comes out, or if you just want to hang out again, feel free. I'd love to have you back on. It was a lot of fun. And
Awesome. Thank you.
yeah, I think we'll call it a night.
All
Have
right.
a Thank you very much, and we'll see you October 20th.
Yes.
Yeah. Good night.
Bye. Bye.
And okay, so that was cool.
Powering off.
The vampire, I think I'm gonna have to buy the vampire book when she gets it done. Yeah, anything that is I can't really say anti, but yeah, I'm not a fan of that. I haven't even read Twilight. The whole premise of it just pisses me off. Anywho, I guess we can do our card for the week. That was I am sorry, guys. I am tired. 5 hours of sleep is not enough. Cat. All right. So, Michael, what are you going to be following this year? I don't know yet. It really depends on how things are going. Alive would be a good one. I'm sure I'll be alive for Halloween. The only thing I like from Twilight is Bruno Mars' "It Will Rain" song. Vampires do not sparkle in the sunlight. Sorry. Last week's card was "Today I Will Learn and Grow." That was last week's. I have a sexy vampire dress. Hopefully, I can fit into it. I don't have one of those. I was thinking about dressing up as one of my characters from Shadows of Atlantic City, but that would cost quite a bit to put that together. So, would you ever like Bruno Mars? Yeah. Okay, so this week's affirmation is: I radiate self-love and happiness. That's a little north of touchy-feely, but like we said, we're not going to be replacing cards this anymore, so we're going to run with it. I radiate self-love and happiness. I radiate something, but I'm sure it's not self-love. Depends on the day if I haven't taken a shower. Alrighty. I think that's it. Do you have any questions, comments, concerns? You can always hit me up on social media, on Threads, Facebook, kinda. I'm also way more active on YouTube, and if you send me a message on Twitter, I'll respond because I still get those. I'm just not very active on Twitter anymore. I've been mostly on Threads, and I've been trying to do more with Instagram, but I just don't know what picture to take. I live a boring life, so I'm dressing up as Michael Jackson. Nice. Before he died, right? I'm going to wear my costume to class. Hey, I used to dress up so as Lady Godiva. I wonder how many people would get that one. You have a horse? I'll be your steed. Anybody? Nobody? All right. Well, Katie C. It looks like Katie C. might have gotten that one. Or is it my joke about Michael Jackson being alive? I know someone who does. Yes, me. I got that reference. Alrighty. That was a lot of fun. I hope we can have Drea on again sometime. Yeah. The seer book, I love her idea behind the seer stuff. More of a being able to see the different probabilities. So it's kind of interesting. Definitely have to get the vampire one. So, and I do like steampunk, so I'll have to see the whole magic running on machines. That's an interesting idea. So I definitely have to check that out when she gets it published. So get the chocolate minus the horse. I think it would be fun to dress up as Donkey from Shrek. Okay. Do you have a horse fetish? Michael should be Shrek and talk like him too. I don't know if I can do Shrek. I know I could do a pirate. Maybe I should dress up as Barbosa. We'll have to see. Alrighty. We're going to wrap this up. Remember, this week's affirmation is I rate self love and happiness. My books are available on Amazon. Links in the description down below. Freelancer's Tale is how I got started as a writer in the first place. And then Kingmakers, my debut fantasy, dark fantasy. And also have Drea Talley's book available on the links in the links. Links are in the description down below. I'm going to stop because I'm just done. So, Porthos the pirate. Hey. And loved whiskey. There we go. I could be Porthos. I love Porthos. I liked Disney's Three Musketeers. Of course, I like that actor too. So, anyway, I think we're going to wrap this up. Emerson from Shrek is hilarious. Yes, there's no doubt. I love Shrek. Shrek's one of my favorite shows. Anyway, yeah, I guess we're done for tonight. And then Sam can be Fiona. Alrighty. Let's wrap this up. Don't forget that Sam and I will be on Crossing Colorado tomorrow. Oh, it's you. Neil sent me a message of like, community tab, what the hell does that mean? Like, oh shit, dumbass. I'm telling you, I'm tired. Anyway, Sam and I will be on Crossing Colorado tomorrow. We'll be talking about her trip to Alaska, and we're going to play a game called Is It Edible? When we're going to be bringing down some relatively expired keto snacks and treats. So you get to see me get disgusted on camera. Sounds like a lot of fun, I think. Because there's really nothing I won't try to eat. Get off my swamp. Be a perfect Shrek. I don't know about a perfect Shrek. I should say that to trick-or-treaters. It'd be perfect. If you post it on Wednesday, it's okay. You're tired. Yeah, I'll post it tomorrow. It's right here on my keyboard, so I got this. But yeah, we'll be on tomorrow. It's gonna be fun. Is it edible? Yeah. And then we're gonna throw it away so that it's not going back up in my fridge or on top of my shelves. Anyway, if there's anything else, you know how to reach me. The contact form on WriterSanctuary.com's website or any video. I respond to all my comments almost instantly. I get those right as I'm working, and I love interacting. So feel free to chat on any video. Anywho, I'm gonna wrap this up. Go have myself a drink. Probably find a corner and pass out. Have a good one. I'll see you next time. Maybe. Depends on how long I sleep. Yeah, I'm tired.